The concert series with Rico is about to go live online. Catch the concert series, the premier live musical program on Philippine radio, Monday evenings on The Monster. Streaming video on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your concert series host, Rico Robles. Stand by and enjoy the program.
And good evening and welcome to the premier live musical program on radio. It's of course a concert series here on Monster RX93.1. We're building up to a supersized Monster anniversary concert on August 30th, and every Monday on the regular concert series we will feature the best and the hottest OPM artists, which we always do. Once again, if you find your face on a billboard on Times Square, New York City, and your song about space in a campaign of NASA, well, you haven't made it to the top. You've certainly made it, or you're certainly on the way. That's what's been happening to our guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Reese Lansangan. It's been a wild ride, even though through these pandemic times, ever since 2013, when she joined the Elements Music Camp, spearheaded by legendary composer Ryan Gayabyab. She soon released her acclaimed debut album, Arigato, Internet. This year, she released her highly anticipated sophomore album, teasing with a password-protected website. There you find a letter where Reese acknowledges that it took some time before she could release the album. She confessed to being plagued with anxiety and self-doubt while creating something she loved that other people would resonate with. It was still, well, let's just say it was time well spent. And that's the title of her new album. Time well spent. Ladies and gentlemen, on the concert series live, let's welcome back Reese Lansangan.
Hey Rico, thanks for having me.
Hi, Reese, you ready? Oh, you got a nice electric guitar going on. So we're gonna go electric.
This is actually really old. This is my high school guitar, and I just decided to like bring it back during the pandemic. I haven't played this in like a long time, but it's nice to like fiddle with it again.
We're going to know the story behind this one. But ladies and gentlemen, it's your first song. It's Reese Lansangan on the concert series.
Well, I'm going to start with the song that I always start with. This was my like roots, OG, Arigato Internet. This is Exploration number 5. I think I like long conversations and music. Observations is the single best combination for me. Let's talk about the deep and endless ocean. Hey, what's your favorite conversation? We can go on and on until we fall asleep. 'Cause this is how things start. A thunderbolt through the heart. When we do what we do, I wanna whisper to you, and the whole world shouts. Find the things that you're about. It won't be hard, oh, it won't be hard if you would like to start. I tell you I like going, exploration, recounted seas, and innovation. How we wish our aspirations would grow wings. Let's talk about all our strange fascinations, or what we ate, our admiration for aliens and languages and things. But this is how things start. A thunderbolt through the heart. When we do what we do, I wanna whisper to you, and the whole world shouts. Find the things that you're about. It won't be hard, oh, it won't be hard if you would like to start. Now I would like to go where our feet can go. Only you would know the way. When we start our plans, let me take your hands, and we'll make something beginnings with adventure. Are you down to start one big adventure with me? With me. Tell you why I like breaking your concentration is to say out loud my speculation about the worlds to spin beyond our atmosphere. You get my less than normal disposition, and this puts me in an obligation to like you just for being here. Oh, but this is how they start. A thunderbolt through the heart. Will we do what we do? I wanna whisper to you, and the whole world shouts. Find the things that you're about. It won't be hard. It won't be hard if you would like to start. If you would like to start. If you would like to.
Hey, Reese Lansangan, she's joining us the concert series. Love the background. The
Thank you.
last time we had you, you also had a different kind of feel. You had like a big ball beside you, right? I remember that.
Yeah. I just like playing up my lighting because it's very
Mm,
cluttered. In my studio I collect a lot of things, a lot of items. So to
mm,
diffuse the like yung masyadong maraming tinitingnan, ilawan
mm.
ko na lang para para
So,
hindi
para
masyadong
siyang
magulo.
ano, yung tiny, ano yun? Tiny desk.
Tiny
What do you
desk.
call that?
Ooh, yeah, the Tiny Desk concert series.
Yeah, dude, that has that
Yeah,
vibe, man. But
great. I just
yeah,
don't
so
have a desk, but thank
well,
you.
you gotta get one. But you did mention earlier in the beginning of the show that you are using a guitar that you've had since you were in high school.
Yes,
So,
and mhm.
I mean, I'll take it back to, was this something that you wanted to do when you were a kid? Like, okay, I'm gonna write some songs. I'm gonna be a rock star. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna be that singer songwriter and do this
Mhm.
as a profession.
Well, music was never an option for me before. Like, I didn't think I would be a musician, or I didn't think it was
Mhm.
possible for a girl like me to be a musician because I guess the internet was very new then. And when I was growing up, wala naman pang internet, Barbie.com lang yung alam ko doon. So, I never, yeah, it never became a path for me, or I never saw anyone forge that path until
Mhm.
YouTube came along, and then I started seeing people with webcams, and then they were just recording the original music, and then sabi ko, oh my gosh, normal people can write songs as well. I thought that it was like the big shots that only get to be musicians. So that's when it started, and then I started writing songs. My dad kasi used to play the guitar and then the trumpet, so I had that like
Mhm.
inkling when I was younger, and he would like urge me to sing in front of our relatives. So parang that was my
Mhm.
start. But then I really hated being in the spotlight. I didn't like performing in public because I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't like embarrassing myself. So I started with very intense stage fright until
Mhm.
I just really loved music and like had to perform at some point.
And for you to overcome it, I mean, when you're a kid, you're writing songs. When you're performing in front of your relatives, were they original songs or were you doing covers? What were you performing? What
Oh
songs?
yeah, I was doing covers like Bawal na Gamot and Cool Ka Lang.
Really?
Yeah, and My Heart Will Go
Willie
On.
Garte, ah?
Yeah,
Okay.
those were the things those were the things that I heard from my family, and yun yung pinapakanta sa it's
Mm,
like a dog showing their tricks, parang gano'n.
mm.
And sometimes 'pag hindi ko talaga bet kumanta, bibigyan ako ng 100 yan pampadulas para para kumanta ako. Or like a reward, like a toy or something, because I
Mhm.
really I didn't like being forced somehow.
I
So
mean,
it kind of
that's
gave me a weird mix of feelings when I'm
mhm.
about to like go on stage.
But I could imagine when you're singing yung mga rock songs nung araw. I bet you if you would
Mhm.
you sing a Freddie Aguilar song
Oh,
and a
yeah.
Willie Garty track. How old were you? Were you 11? Were you
I was
12? What?
actually yung kwento sa'kin, yung bawal na gamot, and I can't recall it anymore, pero 2 years
Uh,
old pa lang daw ako, I could sing bawal na gamot na.
uh,
Yun ang kwento, but maybe it might be an urban legend, but
yeah.
everybody else says so. So, kunwari na lang prodigy tayo.
I mean, can you imagine that? And that's such a at the time it was such a legendary song. You know what I mean? So every karaoke singing it. You know what I mean? So it
That's
was
your
that
bala.
anthem.
Mhm.
Diba? Yun na yun. And
Yeah.
then so you find out you discover your songwriting, and that's a nice guitar. I could see it. Is that a Fender?
It's a square fender, so it's
Squire,
like the
yeah. Oh
budget the
man.
budget fender. But this was the only parang ito yung mga yung it came with like an amplifier and then like a
Yes,
tuner that
yes.
was
It's a
so
starter
primitive.
kit. It's a starter
Yes,
kit. Ano
exactly. That
kulay
was
yun
what I
sa'yo?
got. Yeah, that
Ano
was what I
kulay?
got.
What
Black.
color
It's
is that?
black.
I
'Di
have
ba
a
it comes
blue
in
one
black
like
or
that.
red? May blue ba? I don't know. I thought it was black and
Yeah.
red. And then
May
ito yung
starter kit na
binili
maliit na
ko. Yeah,
amp.
kasi ito yung pinakamura and parang
Mm,
like it makes sense for a high schooler to like
mhm,
start with. And I never got an upgrade. But I mean, pinaset up ko to like last year before the pandemic and it's
mhm,
still pretty good. And like hindi naman ako electric guitar player talaga. So but I like fiddling around with it and it just
mhm,
reminds me of like the older days because I really got inspired by School of Rock. That's why I got
mhm.
an electric guitar.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, do you play rock riffs as well? Can you do lead and all that? Can you do some
Well,
licks there?
oh God, no, I can't do parang improvisation. Pero I used
Mhm.
to like study mga guitar solos because I would be like the lead guitarist in school. Pero for the lack of a person, a lack of
Uh-huh.
like, malit na yung batch namin, so ako yung magli-lead guitar. So I would study it. Pero hindi yeah, I'm not really great at it. So I
Hindi
would still
hardcore
power.
na
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the tapping and all
No, well,
that.
I studied classical guitar when I was in high school. So may
Mhm,
onting tapping, may onting like harmonics and stuff, but it's
mhm.
syempre in a different sense than the electric guitar. So I'll
Now,
leave my friends to that.
incomes, I mean, we always do you as somebody who plays the acoustic guitar. Then I was quite surprised you're picking up electric guitar, which you started out with pala. And now with the new album, Time Well Spent, what's the sound of Time Well Spent?
Well, I feel like it doesn't stray far from my sound when I was starting out, like Arigato Internet, but it just explored a lot of newer instruments. I guess for me, I
Mhm,
had the piano, and then I had a baritone ukulele, and then I brought back the ukulele, like my roots sa isang kanta sa album, which is called Best Effort. So,
mhm,
and I also played electric guitar there. Like a couple of songs were played electric guitar, yung rhythm, like I'd play that. And then ayun, I just feeling ko the experimental part of me, like the songwriting, is the EP that I released last year. Nung
mhm,
pandemic, which was called Playing Pretend in the Interim. But this is like very diary, very what I'm feeling inside, and
mhm,
I'd like to think that it chronicles my growth because ayun nga, I like when I started out with Arigato Internet, I didn't know anything. Like I didn't even know that you produce songs. I just thought that you'd write them and then you
mhm.
perform it in front of a microphone. And that's my take in recording. I didn't know na parang you could enhance it, you could get somebody else, like bring in other people. Yeah, I had very
So you had
beginner or basic.
collaborations. You're starting to collaborate now. Am I right?
Yeah, somehow, yeah. But I also still got the friends that I had for the first album. I'm
Mhm,
very loyal that way, and I like that I have close friends with me, like when working on
mhm.
very personal projects. So the same people who worked on my first album were the same people I brought in with additional, like with some more people.
All right, we're gonna hear some more songs from you. What are the next two songs you got for us?
Actually, my set list for tonight is parang medyo a musical journey, I suppose. So I started with
Mhm,
the Exploration Number 5, which is one of the earliest songs that I ever wrote and released in public, and it
mhm.
was on the debut album, as you mentioned, Arigato Internet. And then the next song is from my EP, which followed Arigato Internet. It's called Machines and Men. The EP is called Of Sound, Mind, and Memory, and the song is called Machines and Men. And
All right.
then the next song is gonna be a surprise. I'm just gonna introduce it after.
Here's Reese Lansangan, ladies and gentlemen. It's the concert series here on the Monster.
1990, our bodies were mighty, practically brand new. Until 1992, we scraped our knees. Knocked off a tooth in 1994, while falling to the floor while we were climbing our trees. We pedaled fast on our bicycles, and we got our wounds from tumbling hard on the ground. As children, we were made to mess around. Back then, our bodies were so restless, and our bones used to be kind, and our muscles seemed to be so strong. And our limbs were so connected, neurons coursing through our minds, but our parts are giving in and going wrong. We were younger then, now decaying machines and men. " 1998, our bodies were so great, and we rode our roller skates so well. Twisted an ankle to a frightening angle. We called upon angels to fix us up, 'cause we swore to never tell. As we got older, we crashed a car, and we got our scars from our duel with death. Blood and bone and bated breath. Back then, our bodies were so restless, and our bones used to be kind, and our muscles seemed to be so strong. And our limbs were so connected, neurons coursing through our minds, but our parts are giving in and going wrong. We were younger then, now decaying machines and men. Man. Behold this sagging skin and these fragile lips that's caging in my lungs and soul. Help me to get in if there's a heaven, 'cause it's better than this life I'm told. Every breath I'm struggling, and I can't remember how it felt not to be the soul. Please just get me in if there's a heaven. And our bodies were so restless, and our bones used to be kind, and our muscles seemed to be so strong. And our limbs were so connected, neurons coursing through our minds, but our parts are giving in and going wrong. We were younger then, now decaying machines and flesh that peak like mountain heads, buds to blossoms running red. Youth has come, let this be said. Life hangs loosely by a thread. Flesh that peak like mountain heads, watch your blossoms running red. Battle's over, rest your head. Final hours fought in bed. That was Machines and Men. I'm gonna play a song that a lot of people who listen to my music would know because this is the favorite, I guess, the crowd favorite, and this is called Home. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ha, ha, ooh, ah, ha, ha, ooh, ah, my love, did they tell you just how long a time it took for me to get to you? And when the world said it's impossible, said it's improbable, the chances of me finding you, nobody knows how we go. Oh, when we're alone, it's like we're home. My bones are safe and my heart can rest knowing it belongs to you, you. My world is changed and it's cradled by the comfort that is you, you. Oh, my love, my head is reeling and I am running out of air. I need to breathe. I didn't know that it was possible to put all that I am at the palm of your hands. Now we're unstoppable, but nobody knows how we go. Oh, when we're alone, it's like we're home. My bones are safe and my heart can rest knowing it belongs to you, you. My world is changed and it's cradled by the comfort that is you, 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 you. But nobody knows how we go. Oh, when we're alone, it's like we're home. Nobody knows how we go. Oh, when we're alone, it's like we're home. Nobody knows how we go. Oh, when we're alone, it's like we're home. Nobody knows how we go. Oh, when we're alone, it's like we're home. My bones are safe and my heart can rest knowing it belongs to you. My world is changed and it's cradled by the comfort that is you, 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 you.
Reese Lansangan, we have her live as a concert series here on Monster RX93.1. Great songwriting, and many are messaging. They're saying that you are, you are a source of comfort for everyone, especially now umuulan. In the rainy weather, sweater weather. It's this type of
Thank you
music that
very much. Thank you.
that
Thank you
you
for appreciating.
you know when people find comfort in your music, where do you find your comfort? Do you listen to your own music? Do you listen to a certain album that you enjoy? Kanye does it. Kanye has his own listening party hosted by him, so
I don't listen to my music. Although if it's
no.
new, I would review it over and over. And like for example, for my album, I would still check it every now and then to see ito ba yung naririnig ng ibang tao.
Mhm,
It feels so different when it's out there in the world already versus you just reviewing the
mhm,
mixes and you like making notes and stuff. So I like reviewing it every now and then, but when I reach that threshold, I do not like listening to my recorded stuff
mhm.
because parang you get nitpicky. I don't know. Like for example, ikaw ba, like, do you listen or do you watch your old interviews and like do you
There
do
are
you enjoy
times.
watching?
No, but it was just like, alam mo yun, when you have to improve on something and you
Mm-hmm.
feel like, for example, you're about to do like a bigger interview. Then
Mm.
you go back to just try to find confidence to power you to you do the
Yeah.
same as well. They do that.
That is actually the only reason, one of the only
Uh,
reasons why I would review stuff. To parang
mm,
make notes on like what to improve and what I
mm,
did bad, like what I did poorly, and then I try to improve on that. But then
mm.
otherwise, parang I feel weird. I don't
You don't
know.
throw
I'm
a party
sure.
at your house. You're like, hey, that's my song,
Well,
guys.
I hope I can I aspire to reach that level of confidence to
Mm,
have like a listening party for my old stuff and like let's celebrate my amazing music.
right?
I can
It'll,
never.
it'll, but did you ever, imagine that your movie would be used like in a movie, TV show, in a
My
K
music.
drama? Yeah.
Oh,
Or a Netflix
I would
movie?
love that. Oh, I would love that. Especially if I like relate to the story and then if
Mhm,
like people I like are involved, I would love that. There are a couple of movies, local movies that have used some of my songs.
mhm,
Usually Home is like a go-to or St. Petersburg, like one of my older songs. Yung mga mellow, mga may aral na mapupulot ganyan, mga love songs. Usually yan yung
mhm.
mga nalalagay.
Somebody said, what about Boys Lockdown? What's that all about?
Oh yeah, Boys Lockdown is a BL series, a Pinoy BL series,
Mhm,
and it used Home as their theme song. So sobrang
mhm,
sobrang cute no actors doon. I really enjoyed like getting to know them through like the videos that they post. They have like supplementary parang YouTube channels and like other interview videos. And it's just so great to be able to support that community. Also
mhm,
with the music and of course this song Home that I just performed encompasses all kinds of love, even like love for your pets or something,
mhm.
so I really love that Home was chosen to represent BL, the Pinoy BL community.
When writing songs for you, I know you would find inspiration in different stories, but what would be like the weirdest one that you've ever written that not a lot of people know that it was about this or a spaghetti or something? What was the
Ah.
song?
Well, yung EP ko that I released last year na nakwento ko kanina, that was like a lot of weird stuff.
Mhm,
About a lot of weird stuff kasi it's like a writing experiment for me. I wrote
mhm,
songs in the perspective of different people or objects that were other than me because I'm used to writing about myself. I'm used to writing about my emotions, like whatever happened to me. So much so that my close friends kind of can piece together who I'm talking about. You know, that always gets weird. Pero I never,
Huh.
I never confirm or whatever. But that EP has like songs about a ghost, a
Mhm.
literal ghost wandering, like a haunting a house, and then a song called Encyclopedia Salesman, which is about an encyclopedia salesman. Yung door to door. So
Yeah.
naabutan ko pa yun when I was younger, and I really liked
Yung
encyclopedias.
Britannica? Yun ba yan?
Yeah, yeah. Akin world book eh. Pero yun, like stuff like that. I like expanding stories in my head into songs because I
Mhm.
think that's a very difficult challenge. Yung parang,
Mhm.
how do you make something melodically interesting aside from lyrically interesting?
Mhm.
It's like you're serving two masters. So I like those kinds of exercises.
Was- So since you mentioned earlier about your friends piecing together certain things, oh may
Mm.
tanong. Jowa
Jowa
reveal
Nakakaloka. Wala tayong maire-reveal. Ano
wala
ba?
daw.
Ikaw jowa reveal
Oh,
ka. Pero,
no jowa reveal.
Pero I would like to say pala, I would like to before I forget, I would like to shout out.
Mhm.
I give a shout out to the Reese kids who are watching and my secret keepers, my secret society on Patreon, and my campers from the Time Well Spent camp week. They're watching now, so I'd like to give a shout out to them. Thank you very much
Mhm.
for always tuning in to my guestings. Like lagi ito yung my guestings nanonood sila. So I wonder if like they're still enjoying, I hope they're still enjoying because I play a lot of, the same
Mhm.
songs. I try to mix it up for them.
That is, it's actually the interviews that gets interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than the music, right? Now everybody's now messaging Joa reveal. It's so funny.
Jowa reveal. Jowa reveal muna kayo.
Right.
Let
Okay,
me know.
Reese, time well spent. The title is just here that you've had some self-doubt. You felt anxiety. And how were you able
Mhm.
to tackle them? And what were the self-doubts that you're feeling at that time?
Um, I guess sophomore slump is like real.
Mhm.
Kasi when I wrote my first album, I just had a collection of songs.
Mhm.
Naipon lang siya over the years of writing songs in my bedroom. Pero the second album, somehow you have a goal of releasing a bunch of your original music for a
Mhm.
collection. Parang you're already meron ng purpose in your mind, not just like, oh, I'm gonna write one song, oh, I'm gonna write another song, and then it's a collection. This is more purposeful,
Mhm.
and it made me question whether I can still do it, because it's like, what's an album, 'di ba? Madaming mga kanta yun. So parang it took me so long to come up with a collection of songs that I really liked. So every time I would sit down, there are some people who are really gifted in
Mhm.
songwriting and they never get writer's block, as they say. So si Carly Rae Jepsen ganyan, parang
Mhm.
sabi niya sa interviews na like she never gets writer's block. She just always has ideas. And
Mhm.
that's not me. I wish I had her no, not work ethic, but like her ability to like just spin amazing
Mhm.
stuff all the time. But I would sit down and then kapag like hindi ako particularly inspired, I would sit down and still try. And if nothing sticks, I would really get disappointed in myself. Parang I'm a bit hard on myself. I feel like
Mhm.
pag upo ko dapat maganda yung kakalabasan. Parang ganun lagi expectation ko sa sarili ko. And I forgot na no, it's not as easy for everybody.
Mhm.
I just I just learned parang I just developed a really high expectation for myself. That it has to be really good, otherwise I'm a failure if it's not.
And
So,
it's there's nothing wrong with that. You're an amazing artist. You know what I mean? There's
but
nothing
but
wrong
this
with
is a
putting pressure on yourself.
Yeah, but this is like every single time that I try to sit down and write a song, I
Mhm.
expect it has to be single material. Yung ganon, yung parang it has to be album material.
Mhm.
When in fact, hindi naman lahat ng unless sobrang songwriting genius ka talaga. I'm sure Taylor Swift, I mean, we already know with like kung binibring up si Taylor Swift because I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. We already know like, 'di ba, since Taylor Swift is re-recording her new music, her old music
Mhm.
again, and she has like with her new releases, she has yung songs from the vault, yung mga hindi niya inilabas during that
Like some of the
time, but
B
still,
sides, yeah, some of the B
yeah, the
sides they say.
B-sides. So even she had songs that didn't make the cut. So
Mhm.
kumbaga like that ugly process of weeding out yung trash to treasure to, okay,
Mhm.
may potential. That's like the thing that you guys don't see, because that is the thing that I struggle with every day. Every day I sit down, I would think, oh my gosh, I have to write something good, just because that's
Mhm.
my expectation of myself. And then if I don't write it, yung moral ko mababa. Yung ganon. So I tried to
And
fight that because
when
it's
you hit
difficult.
that, what do you
Mhm.
do? Do you take time
Oh,
off? Do you go
oh, when I hit
wakeboarding?
like, oh, when I create a song that I really like, I would
Or
play
when
it
you
over and over. Mm-hmm.
when you get the song that you really really like, and also when you get to that moment that you're like, oh man, I'm just drawing up crap here. Nothing is
Yeah,
good. What am
yeah,
I
yeah.
gonna do? Do you let your other friends? Do you have sort of that circle of songwriters to talk to? That
No,
guys, you wanna?
actually, yeah, it's always been a private, parang it's a very intimate moment for me when I'm songwriting. I've never really, I guess I've only tried songwriting with like just in yung collaboration in the middle of the songwriting process. Like
Mhm,
a few times lang talaga, but for my album it's all just me. So it's a private experience from start to finish. So hindi ko, I don't know. I don't share it with other people na, "Oh, I have a song na ito pa lang," tapos hindi ko
mhm,
matuloy. I guess I guess because I want to see myself through the end of that line. And when I finally come up with a song or two songs that I really really like, I would record it on my phone and I would play it over and
mhm.
over and just really, like, relish the feeling of, oh, I accomplished something really really
Uh-huh.
cool. And yeah, I would play it and dance in the living room if it's like a danceable song.
Like like before, what they would do is they would have albums, right? And you would feel the whole album from the beginning, from the intro to the first track, all the way up to the end. It's like a musical experience.
Mm-hmm.
Is your album like that? Does it tell a certain story of because time well spent? So it's pretty much what all the time that you were at home, you're trapped and you're making the most of it. Was that the whole? What's the storyline to this album?
Definitely. I'm very intentional with the track list and like the theming of the album. Even like the promotions of the album, I guess like it's more than just a bunch of songs, as I've mentioned,
Mhm,
and which is why I struggled to get to the point where I have an album. Because if it would just be a collection of songs, it's easy. Kasi parang
mhm,
just like, pick and select and then like put it out there. But I had to find the thread. What was I going through that made me come up with these songs? And if you listen to the songs in the album, you would see the theme of self doubt and like wanting to earn my keep. And like I talk a
mhm,
lot about, there are images that are recurring, like wings, growth, time. Those words always
mhm,
repeat themselves. Like they find themselves again and again in some of the songs. And these songs were written across a span of time, like across 3 years. So
mhm,
yun yung pinagdada. Like it goes to show what I was going through during that time to make me write those lyrics. Parang
mhm,
I felt like I didn't deserve it. I felt like, okay, after the first album, my music is dead. Like hindi na ako makakagawa ng magandang song ever again. All of those like things, dark thoughts that I had to sleep with, parang I took with me, and I poured them into the songs because I didn't have anything new to say. I felt like I didn't have
mhm,
anything new to say. And yun yung nagmanifest sa songs ko. So that's the story, the storytelling of the album. And it's called
mhm,
Time Well Spent because all of that time that I spent like doubting myself and punishing myself, which is not I would not recommend. um
mhm,
and um and celebrating the small victories when I would be successful in something, that all took me here. And even though I released this song, not I released the album not in such an ideal way, because we're still,
mhm,
relatively isolated with one another. I would have wanted like an event, a celebration of life, and all of that with all my
mhm.
friends and like the people who are important to me. But it's time. Like, hinog na siya, kailangan na natin siyang pitasin from the tree. And all of that, like all of that, the whole process, the ugly, the good, it's all time well spent because it led me here, and people can listen to all of that now.
So is it safe to say that you have grown so much as an artist in this whole time period that you spent well?
I hope so. I really do hope so. But of course, I have
Mm,
such a long way to go. Especially, I'm learning that, I really have limits, and I hope
mhm.
that I can exceed those limits eventually.
We're gonna hear some more songs from you, ladies and gentlemen. For those that are tuning in, we have Reese Lansangan. She's joining us. What are the next two songs you got for us?
I'm gonna play a single. I never made it
Mhm.
to the album. Oh, this was supposed to be part of the second album when I was first drafting it, pero it really didn't fit the narrative anymore. So this is called "Jealousy is a Familiar Friend," and it's a song about, yeah, just being like, you're feeling jealousy over like somebody or something. So I hope you enjoy it. Boy, I know it's been over for a while. You know, I'm not the kind of girl who cries for a long time. But I think it's okay if I still think about you once or twice. To tell the truth, you might have crossed my mind, but don't feel so flattered about it. It's funny how you think that you were over somebody, but then you hear about his new girl. And then you're looking in the mirror, second guessing everything. What is this feeling? I just wanna hurl. Honey, I swear my self-esteem has nothing to do about it. But I think I'm going crazy, I might as well shout it out. If I'm being honest, I get jealous, I get jealous, I can't help it, I can't help it over one fella who's one hell of a flirt. After all this time, I guess it still hurts. Believe me, I know you are so happy where you are. You know I'm not the kind of girl who'll try ruining your good vibe. Ooh, ooh, but I think it's okay to say that you've crossed my mind. To tell the truth, I just can't leave the very best parts of us behind. Ooh, ooh, it's funny how you think that you were over somebody, but then you hear about his new guy. And then you're looking in the mirror, second guessing everything. What is this feeling? I just wanna cry. Honey, I swear my self-esteem has nothing to do about it. But I think I'm going crazy, I might as well shout it out. If I'm being honest, I get jealous, I get jealous, I can't help it, I can't help it over one fella who's one hell of a mess. Jealous, I get jealous, I get jealous, I get jealous, I can't fake this, I can't shake this over one fella who's one hell of a flirt. After all this time, I guess it's still now I know that this is nothing but a blow to my ego. It's not like I want you back. I guess I just feel a little attacked by you. You and I, we were no good together. But this might be a classic case of wanting what you don't have anymore. To tell the truth, I get jealous, I get jealous, I can't help it, I can't help it over one fella who's one hell of a mess. Jealous, I get jealous, I get jealous, I get jealous, I can't fake this, I can't shake this over one fella who's one hell of a flirt. After all this time, I guess I'm still. That was Jealousy is a Familiar Friend. Um, and I'm still like it's so weird to play the electric guitar when you're used to the acoustic because it makes like the littlest change in your like finger position makes a different sound because very sensitive. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying the show. My next song is from the EP Playing Pretend in the Interim, which I released last year, and it's all about themes, crazy themes, bizarre themes. But this one might be familiar to you guys. This is called Extended Vacation, and it's a song about the workforce, especially in the pandemic. You know I risk my life to get you the thing that you kindly asked me to get done all day. It's so congested. The rules in place contested, and I can't even see anyone. The world is changing, and I cannot even recalibrate. It's a vacation for the ones with money to celebrate, but as for me, I just need to get through the day. Would be nice to hear someone say thank you, but I still do it even if you don't believe in me. When I ring the doorbell, I get paid, but if there's nobody there, then I get laid off for my quote-unquote incompetence. Well, I'm just a cog in the machine, must keep going until the shit makes sense. You know I risk my life to get you the thing that you've been craving for. To your door one time, the coke spilled over. The pizza got away, you made me go and get a new one all the way back to the store. The world is changing and I cannot even recalibrate. It's a vacation for the ones with money to celebrate, but as for me, I just need to get through the day. Would be nice to hear someone say thank you, but I still do it even if you don't believe in me. When I ring the doorbell, I get paid, but if there's nobody there, then I get laid off for my quote-unquote incompetence. Well, I'm just a cog in the machine, must keep going until this shit makes sense. Well, I was told that if I'm gonna mess up, I'm better off not keeping this up. Quite good at passing off your rudeness as an oversight. Just trying to do my best while my whole world's on house arrest. Making my way, and God, I pray for mercy at the traffic. Like I was told that if I'm gonna mess up, I'm better off not keeping this up. Quite good at passing off your rudeness as an oversight. Just trying to do my best while my whole world's on house arrest. Making my way, and God, I pray for mercy at the traffic. Well, I was told that if I'm gonna mess up, I'm better off not keeping this up. Quite good at passing off your rudeness as an oversight. Just trying to do my best while my whole world's on house arrest. Making my way, and God, I pray for mercy at the traffic light. You know I risk my life too. Just do the thing you so kindly asked me to get done.
Hey, Reese
Hey.
Lansangan is joining us live. For those that are tuning in, it's a concert series here on the Monster now. The journey of songwriting, in your generation, it was Taylor Swift for you, and probably Jewel, or that's probably my generation, and Cheryl
Wow,
Crow.
Jewel.
That's what I'm seeing
Yes.
here. That's what it's like I could see you in along Sunset Boulevard, just playing great music and just writing classics. But when you write songs, is there a go-to chord that you would never not use in any? Is there like a signature chord that only you would use it on all your songs?
It's not. Sorry about that. It's not a signature chord, but it's like the home chord.
Mhm.
Um, I really love the C, and I would find any way to like insert. You know how you have your go to positions when you're like on the guitar, and
Mhm.
my fingers just gravitate towards like a C, whether it's um like whether it's nakakapo and like I play a
Mhm.
G form, and but it's really a C. So I always like gravitate towards that chord, and parang yun yung
Mhm.
lagi ko nagiging pattern, but I just try to change it up. Feeling ko nga like my songs aren't really melodically intricate or anything. It's really
Mhm.
just your normal chords. But I feel like the only the only way I can dress it up is by lyrics.
Mhm.
So that's what I try to do. Like I'm really I take, I guess I take very deliberate steps when I craft my lyrics and my words,
Mhm.
and like the rhymes and the cadence and everything. So that's where I try to, I guess, shine, because I'm not so melodically gifted, I would say. So I just have
Mhm.
fun.
And we could see that with the music that you're making. And that's how great songwriting, it's all about, diba? So I mean, I've seen you in a couple of shows. You would have a loop machine thing, and I've seen
Yeah.
you do that. But do you ever like perform with the full band, or is it just always you on stage by yourself?
No, I would. I would for some occasions, especially if it's like a big concert. I would definitely bring a band with me because I get swallowed by the stage. I also don't have
Mhm.
like a powerful voice, so feeling ko I need the support. And that's why I also double my voice or like I harmonize,
Mhm.
because it's very limiting what I can do, and also my vocal range. So I like having, like yung pampakapal, and also
Mhm.
my friends who play with me for my full band, they give a lot of heart and a lot of color to the songs. There are just songs that really need drums and really need
Mhm.
um lead guitar. There are a lot of songs like that sa aking discography. So
Mhm.
when I play these solo gigs, it's just sometimes it's out of necessity, because wala, like hindi ako makahatak, like hindi ko mahatak yung gitarista ko, especially now in the pandemic. Like it's hard. Like it's hard to
Mhm.
make unnecessary trips, and meetings. So I would, like, if I had the luxury to play with my full band all the time, I definitely would.
I mean, did you ever have like when I got to catch Ed Sheeran at Moa Arena? It was a sold out
Yeah.
show, and he
Wow.
was by himself with a
Mm-hmm.
guitar and his
I was
voice.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever have that powerful moment that you have a whole stadium quiet and it's just you singing and everybody's hanging on to every word and every chord and note you played? And if so, when was it and where was it?
Yeah, I definitely had that, and I'm very lucky to have had that. I've performed in well, my very first yung arena show was in Moa Arena as well. And I performed yung first song ko usually for like those big sets is Aristophanes, where I would vocal loop. So it's just purely vocals, walang instrument and stuff. So pag nagkamali ka, sobrang disastrous, because syempre it's looped, and then naka-vocoder ka eh. So, para, yung vocoder effect. So, it's just gonna be disastrous if you make a mistake. So, the tension is high. And then,
Mhm.
some MOA, like, it's a world-class, what's this? It's a world-class venue. So,
Mhm.
when you perform and when you hear your voice in that arena, talagang, grabe yung chills. Feeling mo, napakagaling mo, ganda ng tunog and everything. And it really, yeah, that was one of the parang experiences that I had, where I felt like, wow, music. I'm the only one. I'm the only
Mhm.
one that you can hear here and that people are paying attention. And I guess the biggest show that I've ever played would be opening for Paramore in 2018, and it was also in
Mhm.
Moa Arena. And even though like maybe 95% of the people there did not know me, and just syempre they came for Paramore because I was just like a surprise opening act.
Mhm.
Like I wasn't, hindi ko pinromote or anything. But just the feeling of having their ears whether they liked it or not, and having that kind of sound like being produced, sobrang saya ng feeling. So it was really a great moment for me.
When you open for Paramore, did you make your set extra loud? Like, did you have distorted guitars? This is gonna be, at that
No.
setting.
No, I wanted to show who I was talaga, and
Mhm.
like why they chose me. Like their team chose me out of the other artists. So I wanted to show who like what kind of music I make. And
Mhm.
duo lang kami nun. Ako lang and si Josh of Autotel. Like, he accompanied me, siya nag-lead, and then I was on the acoustic guitar. And then Haley and I got into a conversation because she watched our sound check. And then after the
Mhm.
sound check, nag-usap, like she approached us and nag-usap kami. So parang it was like all the nerves that would supposedly be there for like
Mhm.
such a big show, like 15,000 people, just went away kasi parang okay, tapos na yung pinaka nakakatakot na. Like, I already talked to Haley, and
Mhm.
right now I just have to
Wh-
do, like, I just
What
have
did
to
she
have
say
fun.
to you when you spoke to her? Oh, hey Reese,
She said that,
nagtatagalog pala siya,
oo, sabi niya, "Riz,
Hi.
ang galing." Ang lamig pala dito 'no? And then, she complimented, Josh and I, yung parang, I guess, like, our dynamic together and how our voices sounded together and how our sound blended together. And then, I told her, parang hindi ko na siya nga pinagsalita masyado, eh. Sinabi ko sa kanya na, as a woman, she started very, very young, right? She started, like,
Mhm.
16 or something. And like Paramore got really big when she was still young, and she was one of the first female musician models that I saw making it
Mhm.
to the industry and still being unapologetically her. Like, her hair is super colored, her stage presence is so magnificent, like it's unreal, and her energy sobrang taas. So I thanked her for being an example for me and showing all the other girls out there that, hey, you could be yourself, and
Mhm.
you could do music and just be yourself. I'm sure like may mga ano na yan, like being under a label and stuff like that. But still, as a young person, I saw her, and she was just like almost my age, making it to the industry by like her weird and wonderful self. So it was a great moment for me to be able to tell her thank you.
And now, in comes 2021, you'll have that moment, and there'll be an artist that will talk to you, will have the same exact feeling, and I'll probably interview that artist and will tell me all about you. You know what I mean? Reese, man,
Oh.
wish we could have you longer on the show. I know that, all your fans are going crazy. They're requesting for songs and all that. Now, for the rest of the year, what are the plans? Are you going to be doing some more shows? Are you going to be doing some collaborations, or is it just promoting the album all throughout?
Um, I'd like to take a long rest. I
Mhm.
feel like I really worked so hard. My small team and I worked really, really hard for this album, and I wanna recharge. I wanna give time to the things that I was able to neglect when I was making the album and when I was promoting the album. So I'm really looking forward to resting and like catching up on TV shows and the books that I've like left half read,
Mhm.
studying Japanese again because I put a pause when I released the first single. So parang hindi ko na kayang maipagsabay. So all those stuff that I
Mhm.
left behind or left by the side, I would love to return to them because I think it's important for me to um pay attention to all the things that I love, not just music. And music will always be there. I'm always listening to music and I'm always trying to write. But yeah, I'd like to honor all the other parts of myself also that
Mhm.
needs a break and that needs nourishment and sustenance. So that's my
Oh, oh,
plan.
what do you like to do when you're not with your guitar and your microphone? What do you enjoy doing? Do you go? I mean, do you go out of town? Do you go to the beaches? Are you that type of person, or do you stay in a
Oh,
coffee shop and just read like
uh,
20,000 books?
like in the pandemic or like pre-pandemic?
Oh yeah, that is a good question. I guess modern time now, like now the now pandemic times.
Now hindi like my family is strict, so parang hindi kami lumalabas talaga if it's not necessary really. But when we do go out, we just really as in super simple lang, we would eat out together, ikot-ikot sa kung saan, and then um just really enjoy the company of one another, and yeah, enjoy our time because life is short as the pandemic has shown us. So every moment is precious. Sorry, it's not like, oh, I go to the beach and I surf. I don't have such an adventurous life, but yeah, I like being at home also.
But being there in the nice background, that you don't have to go anywhere. It's like we traveled already. Look at that background. I mean, look at that
Yeah, all the
interesting
books
background.
are here. It's like a bookstore. I hope to build like a better library, like a better shelf for all my books because my
Mhm.
books are like everywhere. But yeah, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been talking and talking and
It's
talking. I hope
okay.
that
I
you
enjoy talking to you. We enjoy listening to you sharing your
thank
life and
you.
your songwriting. And do you cook? Ay, nagkwentuhan na tayo, no? Do you cook?
Yeah,
Do you
I
pick up
just
any
learned
hobbies?
I just learned how to cook in the pandemic. Dati hindi talaga ako marunong mag-on ng stove or whatever. I did not know anything. And even now I still like I'm not skilled, but I love looking at a recipe and judging whether I can follow it or not
Mhm,
based on like the ingredients and the techniques involved. So I really enjoy parang kasi syempre if may nagluto sa bahay niyo, sanay ka na sa lasa nung pagkain. So,
mhm.
'pag ikaw yung like magdadala ka ng bagong recipe, naiiba yung like it amps up the dining experience. And I find that I look forward to eating because I prepared the food, yung gano'n. And it gets to be like a moment to serve my family also. So, yeah, I've picked up cooking, but not so much recently because of the
People are
outbreak.
asking burgers. Do you cook burgers?
I've tried cooking a burger, like a wagyu burger patty, but I feel like I burnt it. I don't know how to check if I like hindi ako magaling sa times. I would just
Ah,
Google it and then see okay it 6 minutes lang dapat and magta-timer ako. Hindi ko siya mano-mano like yung
ah.
matansya. So I feel like I overcooked the wagyu and I need more practice. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Wagyu cooks very fast compared to
I
like the
know. I
beef.
didn't
And
realize.
then it looks the same. Like parang, okay, am I burning it? It's a
And
question
from the
mark.
outside, it looks burnt. Pero
Ah,
'pag tinusok mo, ang like dami pang
it's still,
dugo. So, hindi
yeah.
ko maintindihan, yeah. Pero I did
Well,
cook
usually
meatloaf for like Christmas.
for
I
your
really
mom,
like that.
your whole family. Okay, okay. Do you
Yeah,
have
for
this on
my
your
whole family.
TikTok? Is this all documented?
No. Oh my god. Well, I would post a story sometimes. I'm too old to be prolific or well versed at TikTok. I created a
Mm.
TikTok for like an album promo of mine, but oh my god, I feel so ancient there. So ayoko na lang magpanggap masyado.
Many are asking, what's the last song you have? People are
Oh,
saying yung or.
I think they're gonna like this because
Mm,
I've never played this in public before. And
mm.
you'll have to excuse me for how it would sound like because this is played on the piano. So this is syempre to honor Time Well Spent. I'm gonna play the first single off of Time Well Spent, which is What Is This Feeling? And it's gonna be on the guitar. But hopefully you guys will still enjoy. I really love this song and I feel like it was the perfect song to open the album with. And I hope that everybody listening would sing along with me and would tell me that they enjoyed it after I do the set. And I would really like to thank you, Rico, for your time. You
Thank you, thank you.
really indulged me. And thank you for asking such great questions and getting me to talk this much.
It's great to hear you and also to know the stories behind your songs. And now you're cooking burgers, wagyu burgers, and all that. All right, here we go. This is her last song for all her fans. Thank you guys for keeping it locked in here for all the monsters as well. Here's Reese Lansangan on the concert series.
Do you recognize this? There's a spring in my step as I walk through the door. Do you know it all? My feet are lighter than before. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I've forgotten my breathing since he let me go. And I would think ano ba? Why do I keep pressing the wrong thing? Okay, I'm gonna do it all over again. Unheard of on radio. Okay. Do you recognize this? There's a spring in my step as I walk through the door. Do you know it all? My feet are lighter than before. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I've forgotten my breathing since he let me go. And I would think I can see with my eyes. I'm growing my wings just so I could fly. And I can feel it changing me. I'm dancing with my bare feet on the ground. I've never ever felt this real. Feel it inside, just running in my chest. It's crawling out of every open wound on my flesh. What is this feeling? What is this feeling? What is this feeling? How could this be? Oh, what is this feeling? What is this feeling? What is this feeling? How could this be? Oh, can you explain this? There's a grace in my walk as my heels hit the floor. Do you have a name for this? When you feel like you're floating away, but it's so hard to say what it is. I don't know if you've ever noticed the rush of blood to my face wherever you go. And now I think I can see with my eyes. I'm growing my wings just so I could fly. And I can feel it changing me. I'm dancing with my bare feet on the ground. I've never ever felt this real. Feel it inside, it's running in my chest. Scrolling out of every open wound on my flesh. What is this feeling? What is this feeling? What is this feeling? How could this be? Oh, what is this feeling? What is this feeling? What is this feeling? How could this be? And I never wanna lose this feeling. I just wanna keep on flying above all the city lights high. And I have always gone believing that if I keep a good head and a good heart, then I won't fall down. And I never wanna lose this feeling. I just wanna keep on walking on clouds, see the truth from my mouth. And I've always gone believing that if I keep a good head and a good heart, then I won't fall down. And I could feel the change in me. I'm dancing with my bare feet on the ground. I've never ever felt this real. Feel it inside, it's burning in my chest. Scrolling out of every open wound on my flesh. What is this feeling? What is this feeling? What is this feeling? How could this be? Oh, what is this feeling? What is this feeling? What is this feeling? How could this be? Oh, could this be? Oh, what is this feeling? I don't. Could this be?